From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Donald Trump says 25% tariffs on most Canadian imports will start next week.
We're on time with the tariffs, and it seems like that's moving along very rapidly. We've been mistreated very badly by many countries, not just Canada and Mexico.
The U.S. president made the comments in a press conference with the French president at the White House today after the levies were paused for a month until March 4th. Trump's executive order would also see a 10% levy on energy. He initially said the tariffs were in response to Canada's failure to secure the U.S. border, but after postponing the tariffs, Trump said he was looking for an economic deal with Canada. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly responded, saying the Canadian government will be ready.
Since we're not the only ones under the threat of tariffs, this is exactly why I'm here right now in the UK, and I've been in Europe now for 10 days. It is important that allies under that threat work together and work as a coalition by having the same types of countermeasures of counter tariffs.
Meanwhile, an outgoing chief of the Assembly of First Nations says Canada mustn't ignore Indigenous peoples as a response to the threat of a trade war with the United States. Ghislain Picard is stepping down as regional chief for Quebec and Labrador after more than 30 years in the role. He's concerned by the Quebec government's promise to accelerate energy and construction projects to respond to Trump's tariff threats.
It seems that the government of Quebec is trying, to stage a response that has not a single consideration for First Nations peoples and their role.
4 candidates are in the running to replace Picard, with the new regional chief set to be chosen tomorrow. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau marked the 3rd anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine today and did not rule out sending Canadian troops to Ukraine as part of a possible ceasefire deal.
It is something to take very, very seriously.
The Prime Minister didn't back away from the idea, saying it was something that should be discussed. He obviously had thought long and hard about it before making the comments at an international security conference in Kyiv.
It is the easiest thing in the world to continue to say what I have said from the very beginning, which is Canada stands with Ukraine.
Trudeau says the priority is to make sure there's a ceasefire and that there are conditions for a lasting peace. It's the Prime Minister's last trip as Prime Minister. He steps down next month. Bill Graveland, The Canadian Press, Kyiv.
In the race to replace Trudeau, Liberal leadership candidates are set to square off tonight in a French-language debate in Montreal, set to begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. An online marketplace, Temu, is now allowing Canadian businesses to sell through its e-commerce platform. Only businesses registered in Canada with local inventory and fulfillment capabilities will be eligible. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the soaring Winnipeg Jets look for their 10th win in a row tonight as they welcome the San Jose Sharks in NHL action. The Vegas Golden Knights are in Los Angeles to take on the Kings in a showdown between 2 of the top teams in the Pacific Division. In the MLB, spring training between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers was canceled due to rain in Lakeland, Florida. The Ottawa Redblacks have signed American linebacker Ayinde Ely to a 1-year contract. Ely was the BC Lions nominee for the CFL's Top Rookie Award last season. And Nathan Chen, Nancy Kerrigan, and Peggy Fleming are among the figure skaters added to a benefit for victims of the mid-air collision outside Ronald Reagan International Airport. The event is this weekend in Washington, D.C. 28 members of the figure skating community were killed when a military helicopter collided with a commercial flight on January 29th. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.